Welcome to our lesson on REST API Basics. Today we're going to learn how modern applications communicate with each other over the internet. Imagine a laptop connected to many different services. It can communicate with AI models, databases, mobile applications, websites, and cloud servers. All of these systems exchange information using REST APIs. REST APIs act like messengers. They carry requests from one application and return responses from another. Whether you're building websites, mobile apps, or AI-powered applications, understanding REST APIs is an essential skill. In this lesson, we'll explore how REST APIs work and how they're used to connect applications around the world. Now let's see why REST APIs are so important. Modern applications don't work alone. They constantly communicate with other applications over the internet. A mobile app can upload information to the cloud. A website can retrieve data from a server. An AI application can send a prompt and receive an intelligent response. Although these applications are different, they all communicate in the same standard way, using REST APIs. REST APIs make it possible for software running on different devices and built with different programming languages to work together smoothly. This simple communication is what powers many of the digital services we use every day. REST APIs connect many different services across the internet. Think about the applications you use every day. An online shopping app retrieves product information. A banking app securely transfers money. A weather app requests the latest forecast. A navigation app gets maps and directions. An AI application sends prompts and receives intelligent responses. Even though these services perform different tasks, they all communicate using the same REST API principles. Instead of building every service from scratch, developers simply connect to existing APIs. This saves time, improves reliability, and allows applications to work together seamlessly. Now let's look at how a REST API works. Everything begins with a client application. The client sends an HTTP request to a server. The request travels across the internet until it reaches the REST API. The server receives the request, processes it, and performs the required task. It might retrieve information, save data, or generate an AI response. Once the work is complete, the server sends an HTTP response back to the client. Finally, the application displays the result to the user. This simple request and response cycle is the foundation of every REST API. Let's look at what happens inside the server when an HTTP request arrives. The server doesn't process it immediately. First, it checks the request, it verifies the user's identity, checks permissions, and confirms that the request is correctly formatted. If everything is valid, the server begins processing. It may retrieve information from a database, update existing records, or generate a response using an AI model. After the task is complete, the server creates an HTTP response and sends it back to the client. This entire process happens in just a fraction of a second, allowing applications to communicate quickly, securely, and reliably. Every REST API request contains several important parts. First, there is the endpoint. This is the URL where the request is sent. Next, we choose an HTTP method. For example, GET retrieves data, POST creates new data, PUT replaces existing data, PATCH updates part of the data, and DELETE removes data. The request also includes headers. Headers provide extra information, such as authentication and the type of data being sent. Finally, some requests include a JSON request body. This contains the actual information that the server needs to process. Together, these components form a complete REST API request, allowing applications to communicate clearly and consistently.